Happy Monday, boys and girls. Yes, I am getting ready for my favorite hat day this week. I think it's this week. Trying on different hats, and you kind of caught me right in the middle of that. And I'm sitting down enjoying my fire in the wood stove while I record. Anyway, happy day. What you need to succeed today? Your mentor text, your pencil, and your highlighter. So get those things, please. All right. Our goal today is I can analyze the influence of setting on the plot of a story. I'm going to really focus on setting today and learn more about that. If you turn your mentor text to page 14 and 15, we're going to do a first read. I want to make sure that you circle any difficult or unfamiliar words that you may not know. And I also want you to look for and circle the words in the yellow box. So picket, vigil, banners, suffrage. Be looking for those words as well. All right. On the picket line, from A Time for Courage by Catherine Lasky. Fictional teen Kathleen Bowen is a suffragette, like the millions of real women who fought for the right to vote in the early 1900s. In this excerpt, Kathleen describes a protest she joins with her mother and cousin Alma in Washington, D.C. January 14th, 1917. I cannot believe that I once did not know what a picket line was. Well, I certainly know now. It is all we eat, think, and breathe. The White House vigil, the picket line, and all that white, gold, and purple cloth Alma and I delivered to Mrs. Belmont's. Well, our fingers are just about worn out from sewing banners for the pickets to carry. Alma helps too. We tell her father that we are staying after school for Latin club or the drawing and painting circle. Yes, it's a lie. But Alma and I say no one is getting hurt by our lie, and then we go over to the Women's Party headquarters on Lafayette Square and help make banners. They need a steady supply for the women in the picket line, and Alma's mother is in it. Alma said that her mother threatened to tell our Uncle Everett, Mother's and Auntie Claire's brother, about a gold mining venture that she thinks is bad, but that Uncle Bayard wants Uncle Everett up in Boston to invest in. It worked, and Auntie Claire and Mother are standing by the White House gates with a dozen or more other women holding banners that read, "The right of self-government for one half of its people is far more vital consequence to the nation than any or all other questions. Or, Mr. President, what will you do for women's suffrage?" Or my favorite, "Men, their rights and nothing more. Women, their rights and nothing less." The weather is bitter cold, close to zero. Everyone expected the women to quit after the first day. The newspaper photographers came and took a few pictures, but the women, including Mother and Auntie Claire and Nell, have been coming back for 4 days, even today, Sunday. The newspapers, who at first referred to them simply as women participants in a vigil for suffrage, are now calling them unwomanly and undesirable. Alma and I bring them hot bricks wrapped in toweling to stand on to keep their feet warm. Father is endlessly fretting about Mother and Auntie Claire getting pneumonia, or worse. He sent Marietta over with thermoses of hot soup that Mother, Nell, and Auntie Claire shared with the other women. Alma and I went to the Ardmore and had hot chocolate with piles of whipped cream. All right. If you notice, there are a couple things on page 14 of your mentor text. You see the author, Catherine Lasky. And it talks about, it's a caption, a picture, a real-life picture with her caption, all about her. And then if you look on page 15, there is an actual photograph, not an illustration, because remember, an illustration's a drawing. And it says, as in the caption, it says, Women gained the right to vote when the 19th Amendment was ratified in 1920. And that's a real picture of them standing out with their banners outside the White House gates. All right. So if you notice, we have the date, and we were looking for some words. Picket. It was mentioned 4 different times. To picket is to protest or strike. Make sure you circle that or highlight those in your mentor text, and then on the side, I want you to write picket and what it means. Okay, now we're looking for another word. Banners. So banners that read, and then it read all of those things. There were a couple different banners listed there. And banners are pieces of cloth or other material that has an important message. So if you haven't already highlighted banners, you need to do that. And then you also need to write out the definition. All right, we're talking about a vigil. So it says women participants in a vigil. What do you think that means? Well, it's a group meeting in a public place to support a cause. Go ahead and write that down. And now we have the word suffrage. So women participants in a vigil for suffrage. So we need to know what suffrage is. Anybody know? Right. It's the right to vote. So they're participating in like a group meeting for the right to vote. All right. In this text, we're talking about setting. It's a fictional story, and we're going to talk about the setting. Setting is the place, time, and environment of a story. Place could be your home, a store, the jungle, on a boat. Time, when? Morning, summer, last night, long ago, 1998. Environment. Cold, what? What's the environment? Cold, dark, stormy, cloudy, rainy. The setting affects what happens in the story. The setting can change. So it can change. You can start out in one place with like a stormy weather, and it can go to a different place with maybe different types of weather, different time of day. Characters react to the setting. If you remember reading or listening to me read about how they brought warm bricks for them to stand on one of the days, that the characters are reacting. Their feet are cold, so they're getting warmer. Other days it wasn't like that. Look for clues in words and pictures. So I showed you that actual picture. If you look at your mentor text on page, I think it's 15, you'll see the actual picture. And it shows banners that showed kind of what a banner was. Show where the setting was taking place, even though it's a fiction story. So if we take a look, setting can influence the plot and add to the conflict in a story. So the place, take a look at this excerpt. It tells you where the place is. Do you know? You are right. Washington, D.C. So the place is Washington, D.C. The time, does it say the time? Now, it doesn't mean 9 o'clock at night or 8 in the morning. Early 1900s. Way longer long ago before I was even born. I know some of you, it's hard to believe. Okay, so the time is the early 1900s. Now the environment, I'm looking at that. Okay, this one might be a little bit tricky. So the millions of real women who fought for the right to vote. So your environment is women wanting the right to vote. Conflict is what drives your story. So the conflict here, well, I'm sorry, January 14th, 1917. That's winter in Washington, D.C. is cold in January. It has weather very similar to Minnesota. Your conflict is person versus nature. So you've got us, or the people in the story, Alma, versus nature. It's cold out. I cannot believe that I once did not know what a picket line was. Well, I certainly know now. It is all we eat, think, and breathe. The White House Vigil, the picket line. Picketing is protesting. So they're protesting. Your conflict there is person or people versus society. What that means is that the women were up against society because at that time in our history, only men had the right to vote. Women had not, it had not been passed yet that women had the right to vote. And then again, a vigil is a group of people meeting together to bring attention to a cause. Oops, I'm sorry. So it's the conflict is person versus person. So you've got the women versus, it even says in there, the president. Okay, so your turn. Yes, you are going to pause the video. And I want you to read paragraph number 2 on page 15. How does the setting influence the plot in this paragraph? You need to highlight 2 pieces of evidence from the text. So pause now and then come back. Okay, welcome back. All right, so here is that paragraph. And the weather is bitter cold, close to 0. That's your environment. Everyone expected the women to quit after the first day. They had to endure difficult circumstances. They didn't care at this point. They're trying to make a point by holding this vigil. The newspapers, who at first referred to them simply as women participants in a vigil for suffrage, are now calling them unwomanly and undesirable. Protesters are having to face their opponents. Their opponents in this instance are the newspapers and the president still. So what I want you to do is evaluate your learning. Remember, your goal was, I can analyze the influence of the setting on the plot of a story. Okay, so the plot of the story was influenced by where it was taking place, who was involved, and the weather as well. 4, 3, 2, or 1. Make sure you write that down and you think about it. If you had problems with this, go back and rewatch. Or ask me tomorrow, or today, I guess. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you later.